Are you coming along? Yogi's taking Silk's place. Instead of a garden cat, I've got a garden row. Come on. It's kind of sad to see fall get here and, you know, the last of your plants. Time to harvest. You know, right now the bush and tino beans, this one's still kind of waxy, not ready to pull. But this one's nice and firm, and when you go like that, it breaks off easily. Where this one, I just lost a seed to replant itself. You know, is when you want to pull them. But today, you know, I need to go ahead and get the Oca, you know, Oxalis tuberosa, a little more protected for winter. I've already hilled it up some and brought in cut grass, and I'm gonna have to, you know, either cover it with like fish tanks or glass or plastic, you know, to protect it from the frost. The Oxalis tuberosa is the second largest crop in the Andes in Peru. It's a tuber like a potato and used just like a potato, but it's a lot harder to grow, especially in my climate. This is kind of an experiment from the Experimental Farm Network. It came from the cultivals.com, and I'm really glad that I had the opportunity to receive all this. But it turns out, you know, this is really good for the climate up in Washington, the state of Washington. But the climate here, we're a day neutral climate, where the plants here are like potatoes. They require a short day climate. It's not really the amount of sunlight, it's the amount of, you know, lack of light. You know, that's why this plant will, you know, grow all summer and put on the foliage, and then it waits till the autumn equinox to start forming tubers under here. So right now it's finally starting to produce tubers, and I've been lucky that I've been able to keep these plants, and I have a couple more on the side over there, alive. The ones that I have in the back in full sun, they did really well with all the rain we had this summer. You know, they flourished. But the first day that it stopped raining, it got up to 97 degrees with high humidity, and those plants vaporized. I mean, they fell over and they melted into nothingness, right, Yogi? And to top it all off, you know, when I went to report back on the progress of these guys doing really well, it turns out that one of these two right here, and I think it's that one right there, is the only one in existence, that variety, and I'm the only person in the world that has that one. And the life of that plant depends on me getting it to harvest, and the goal is Thanksgiving or later. The longer that you can keep it in the ground, the more tubers, and the bigger the tubers will form. And that one there, you know, seems to be having a little bit of issue. You know, I'm not quite sure what's going on with it, but I hope, you know, that it'll turn around. This one's doing really well. And none of them, you know, have flowered yet. It'll have flowers. This is kind of like a clover, you know, like a four-leaf clover. And it has little flowers that can turn into seeds. That's a piece of corn, or a corn cob. No. But, what do you call it? From this area being protected, you know, the vines up here have helped create a microclimate of protection for this, and that gives, you know, sun protection, and that way this plant didn't have full sun all summer long, and you'll count to eat it right. And then I think that aided in the benefit to this plant. And then the area here to the north, it's surrounded by the house and shed. To the south, it's got the mulberry, the walnut, and several other trees that direction. And then coming in this way, you know, more trees and bush. So this, you know, is a little more of a protected area from, you know, high winds and, you know, major storms that, you know, couldn't stop, but it did help. And then this was sent to me late in the year, so I think it was July that this got planted. I may have had a better chance at keeping the other plants if I could have got them, you know, started in a grow bag back in March and then planted them out as, you know, more mature plants. Whatever I save or be able to grow or save from this year's harvest will be a lot more protected next year, you know, and possibly grow bags to, you know, that I can move around if I need to, or, you know, keep them in this area. Another plant, the Yacon here, is another one that's from the same area of the Andes, and it's also a tuber. It produces inulin. It's something, a sugar form to make the, it's more of a fruit, you know, than a vegetable. But the sugar that it produces is not digestible by our bodies, so we're able to taste, you know, a sweetness, but not have it affect our blood sugar. So this is a really good plant for diabetics, and that's one of the reasons that I bought this plant, because my husband's diabetic, and I thought, you know, this would be a great addition to our food supply. And it tolerated, you know, tons and tons of rain, and I had it in this container here, and it got to the point that it was swimming, so I had to divide it up and transplant it, once here and one over there, and the one over there didn't make it. Where this one had 2 tubers and the mama, you know, on it, and it's produced, you know, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 shoots. So there's at least 5 mama starts on here to, you know, reproduce more plants next year, I hope. And I have to try to keep these in the ground as long as possible too. So this will become a protective zone, you know, like a cold frame will go over top of this for the winter, or, you know, to try to keep it into November and December as long as possible. But I think I'll go ahead and let you go for now, and we'll keep you updated on the harvest. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.